This is an Axios report that came out a few months ago. So this right here is showing the current and planned data centers. So currently operational, you can see a map, and then under construction or planned. And so currently operational, you can see that if anything has any state has over 300 data centers, it's this really dark purple color. So Texas, California, and Virginia are the highest, like the most. Virginia, if you look at the size of the state compared to the number of 663 data centers, that's not good at all. But you can also see under construction or planned. And again, you can see there's 3 states here. So California, they've kind of backed off, but you can see here that we've got Texas. They're like going full steam ahead. Georgia also, and then again, Virginia is also just going full steam ahead. So what it says here, nearly 3,000 new data centers are under construction or planned across the U.S. per a new analysis shared first with Axios, adding to the more than 4,000 already in operation. So this is a big deal. So zooming, it says Georgia and Pennsylvania are among the states due for particularly big data center booms if all goes to plan. Okay, so you can see that this is real. It's increasing. Now, there's a website which is if you go to opengridworks.com, so which is up right here, you can see you have this little sidebar here, and you can toggle on. You can see, like, for instance, where are there solar fields in America? Where are there wind generating fields? So this is actually, you can even map out the entire power grid. You can look at the power transmission lines. It's really cool. But what you can do, which is what I've done, is you can just select data centers. So this right here is showing you, like, if you're curious in your state or your region, where are the data centers at? You can zoom in. So I grew up in Ohio. I grew up just outside of Columbus, Ohio. Ohio has gotten a lot of attention because of their data centers. Like, and I got a video to play on one of the data centers at the New Albany. And so specifically right here, this is New Albany area, which I grew up. So I grew up over in this little area called Plain City, which is on the other side of Columbus. But New Albany has massive, massive data centers being built. I've got a video talking about a Google data center there. So you can actually view, kind of zoom in, and you can see exactly where the data centers are in your area, who owns them. You can get more details on them. And so again, the website is opengridworks.com. So opengridworks.com will take you where you can view on this. And you can kind of check out wherever you're located. You can see exactly what data centers are. So, like, for instance, like, this is New Albany in Ohio. And you can see here's a massive Meta complex right here. So here's a Meta data center, Meta. So all these buildings right here are Meta. So Meta is one of the companies that is building massive data centers. Okay, here is Google. So you look at this whole complex here. Okay, you've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or so different buildings in this huge complex right here. And this is just in Ohio. So just in New Albany. And so anyway, I like these things. I like to see what's going on. Now I live in upstate New York now, and I'm glad I checked this map, and there's actually not really any data centers near me. But again, who knows? I hope to goodness that there won't be more. But what's also crazy is that they're going nonstop, and these things are getting huge. So there's a data center that is being proposed in Box Elder County, Utah, that is going to be 62 square miles. Like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. So this is a post from Jason Bassler over on Twitter. He says the largest hyperscale data center in the world is being proposed in Box Elder County, Utah. It's approximately 40,000 acres, which is 62 square miles, and it's backed by Canadian millionaire Kevin O'Leary, right, the guy from the Shark Tank. So it says, fast-tracked by Utah's Military Installation Development Authority, backed by Governor Spencer Cox, with the public locked out of the decision process. So it says, Utah, say hello to a 50% increase in CO2 emissions, polluted water, and 24/7 noise and light pollution, which we'll be touching on that. So this is, there's no audio here. This is the rough size of this data center that is being proposed, which it sounds like it's kind of already signed, sealed, and delivered if they're not allowing the public to have any discourse in this. And it just is like, this just shows you, it's just insane that they've been hitting us over the head about CO2 and global warming and environmentalism, yet these data centers are a cancer. Like, these data centers are just like what they're doing to the environment, and it's insane. So here, watch this. Okay, so this is a video. I'm going to play it for you. It's 30 seconds long. It says, this is what it sounds like living half a mile from a data center at 1 a.m. Okay, so think about this. So I live out in the country. I specifically, like when my wife and I, when we were home shopping and we were looking to whether either buy some land and build or buy an existing home, one of the things for us was noise. And so we're kind of close to a highway. And so we were looking at how far away we were from any major road for noise traffic, because, when I go outside at night, especially, I want to hear crickets and frogs and insects, and that's it. Like, for me, silence outside is really, really important. Now, maybe you live in the suburbs or you live in a city. Look, I lived in New York City for over a decade, and maybe that made me just hate noise. But I grew up in the country. I grew up in the middle of nowhere where it was quiet. You go out at night and maybe I'd hear like a distant truck going down a faraway highway. But I really value silence. And so listen to this though. Okay, this is someone recorded this. You hear it during the day. This kind of looks like it's kind of going into dusk. And then there's also the second half of the video shows the noise at night. Just listen to this. This is what it sounds like living half a mile away from a data center. Imagine if every time you were outside, whether you were barbecuing, having a campfire, camping in your backyard, gardening, whatever it is, imagine if this is what you heard, okay? So this is the noise at 1 a.m. That's insane. I would be so angry if I lived in a rural area when that's where these things are being built, right? They're buying up farmland, they're buying up cheap land, and that's where they're building these data centers. Imagine you have lived your whole life in a rural area and you grew up listening to the quiet sounds of nature at night, and that's what you hear. But it's not just the noise, it's the light. Okay, so here's another post. This says, a massive data center is now bathing the rural town of Crowell, Texas, in constant artificial light, leaving residents under a 24/7 industrial glow. In other locations where data centers have been established, light pollution is becoming a serious problem for residents. So this is, even in the middle of the night, this is what it looks like. When you're supposed to be able to see the stars and see the sky and have pitch black. I mean, this is, again, a rural town of Texas. This is what people are seeing at night. Like, this is just, it's infuriating. And this, we're not even getting into the purpose of these data centers. I mean, to me, these data centers are the hub of the control system. Of course, they're doing other things, like they're processing AI cat videos, and of course there's stuff like that happening. But fundamentally, though, these AI data centers, these are the central hubs of a digital prison. Like, that's what they are. And so if you think about this, it's like they're not benefiting mankind. They're being used to track us. They're being used to surveil everything we do. They're being used to analyze every single thing that we're doing online. It's just the amount of data moving into these things that's coming from us is just insane, right? So all your smart things, smartphones, smart TVs, even flock cameras, the audio, the Raven audio on the flock cameras, it's all recording everything. So, and again, at the beginning of the show, I talked about, what does it mean to be an American? What does this country mean to me? Well, what I can tell you, what I'm seeing right now is that this country the infrastructure is being built for an insane surveillance state. Like, that's what's being built around us. That's just the sober reality of it. Now, I haven't lost my hope. I'm still have a lot of fight in me. I've got a lot of hope for the future. And I do think this stuff will end up failing. Like, that's my personal opinion. I don't think that this will become successful. I think that at some point it will fail. However, I can't ignore the signs that I see that the infrastructure for a digital prison is being built all around us, funded by our taxpayer dollars, polluting our water, polluting our air, stealing the energy from the grid, driving up prices for us. Like, this is just the sober reality of what's going on. But they've also found, this is also crazy, that the scientists have discovered that these data centers are even worse for the environment than we thought. So the big data centers, in addition to the sound and the light, they're creating what they're calling heat islands that raise local surface temperatures on an average of 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Right? This is, again, going back to the whole global warming thing. Right? This is their excuse of why they're spraying chemicals in the sky. Oh, global warming. It's for global warming. Yet these data centers are cooking the atmosphere. Here's the hard truth. Every 6 years, your dollar loses half its buying power. That means a $100,000 savings account today could feel like $50,000 by 2031. And you see it every time you fill up your tank, buy groceries, or pay the bills. Prices are up. Your dollar's down. But there's a simple way to protect the value of your savings with something real, something proven: gold, an asset that holds its value over time. And that's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They make it simple to protect your savings with physical gold or silver. No high-pressure sales, no call centers, just honest guidance, one-on-one support, and transparent pricing. And right now, when you open a qualified account, Noble Gold will send you a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar as a thank you. So head over to goldwithseth.com or call 626-654-1906 today to learn more. Again, that's goldwithseth.com or 626-654-1906. Don't just protect your wealth, preserve its power.